he was 10 yards ahead of the closest defender behind him, and I don't understand where a flag could even come into play there.
We've got a personal foul against Onaway, personal foul against Johannesburg. So we've got offsetting personal fouls.
Dead ball, personal foul, Onaway. Dead ball, personal foul, Johannesburg-Lewiston.
So the official talking it over with the captains. And right now, the officials are doing a good job. Get the captains over there, say, you know what? Clean it up or somebody's going to get tossed. And it looks like, one Onaway player's already been tossed. And that's what you got to do as an official, is clean this up.
Yeah, you got to get it under control right now. And I mean, this is certainly two teams. There's a lot of bad blood. I mean, no love lost between these two clubs, but you cannot lose your cool especially at the end of the game where it was 48-8 at that point. But I tell you what, Andy, how do you come back from a 90-yard interception throw that you had a minute before that? You run the ball 95 yards for a touchdown. Great job by Matthew Tolini.
And he dropped back to pass and saw a huge opening and just took off, and he was off to the races. Nobody was even close to catching him.
He's got sneaky speed. He's one of the faster kids in the team, and that's just something else that he brings to the table. Obviously, he's got a great arm. He's a great defender, but he's also extremely fast. He can roll out like we just saw and break off a big play.
So Onaway, they're going to go for two here. Tolini's pass is no good. Incomplete.
2-point conversion ruled incomplete, intended for Justin Jetta.
So the 2-point conversion, no good. So with a minute 52 to go here in the third, Johannesburg 48, Onaway 14.
Now on the kick, penalty will be assessed on the kick against Johannesburg-Lewiston.
So just here in the third quarter, let's see, we've had a 65-yard touchdown run by Whitsitt, a 75-yard kickoff return by Kibbe, a 90-yard interception return by Kibbe, and a 96-yard touchdown run by Tolini.
Certainly has been a lack of excitement here in the second half of this third quarter alone. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
And now, if we can get things cleaned up here, as far as the personal fouls and that kind of stuff.
And that's just it. I mean, obviously, Onaway's frustrated. We get that. We understand that. But it has been an exciting football game to watch and especially to be a part of. Don't bring that down by losing your cool and doing the silly things that these kids are doing here.
And especially, don't get yourself kicked out of a ball game because you're going to miss next week's game. If you are ejected, you have to sit out. And that happened earlier this year to Onaway.
Sure, and it's been a problem all season long. I mean, I don't think letting the cat out of the bag there. I mean, it's been a problem, and it's been a concern for this football team. A lot of the season here is the way they've been conducting themselves.
Here's Batista's kick. It's a good one. That's Dylan Cushman.
Lots of room to run here.
Oh, see ya.
One man to beat.
Dylan Kibbe making a nice return.
Great return again by Kibbe.
And he may have gone all the way had he kept going. He just tried to cut it back a little bit. And I think he might have taken another big play right there, over 50 yards.
Is that a right or is that just a wet?
Now, have you seen anything on the Onaway sideline as far as possibly a player without his helmet on or anything? Well, no. I don't want to speculate on exactly who got tossed for Onaway.
Yeah, and obviously sitting on the opposing team's sidelines like we are, it's going to be hard to even hear what happened. So I mean, it's just speculation at this point.
And here's that same play up the middle to Hardy. Gets across the 25. Down to about the 23.
Noah Bacon on the
I see Andrew Pro out to the ball game tonight. That's a good sign. Been work. He's my big left-hander, the guy I'm going to lean on for baseball this year. He actually got mono and strep throat a couple weeks ago. Been out of school for 3 weeks, and the doctor said he couldn't play any sports, couldn't do anything athletic for 3 months. So it's good to see him at least out and got a good word. I talked to him a little bit at halftime. He said the doctor said he can come back and start exercising and playing again in December. So that's nice to hear.
That is nice to hear. And here's Hardy again.
Hardy straight forward.
He's got a first down.
Have a first down. Bobby Odger and Justin Jetta on the tackle.
And Jetta looks like he's coming off the field a little slowly. Got nicked up there.
He's been banged up off and on a lot this year, and I give him credit for going out there and toughing it out and playing in these ball games. He's had a number of ailments that, I mean, when you run as hard and play as hard as Justin Jetta does, you're going to get nicked and banged up. There's no doubt about it.
1st and 10 for Johannesburg at the 14. And it's Hardy again. Whitsitt, the first guy there to make the tackle.
On the carry.
And as we wind down the clock,
Whitsitt on the initial hit.
that should be the last play of the third quarter. As I think Johannesburg's just content to run things out.
In 5, second down,
Thank
5.
goodness, Andy. That's what I gotta say.
And that's 3-2-1. That's going to be the end of the third quarter. So we played 3 quarters here in Onaway. It's Johannesburg-Lewiston 48, the Onaway Cardinals 14. We're going to take a quick timeout. Come back with the fourth. Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Johannesburg in control, 48-14, and they're looking for more as we get ready to start the fourth. And toss sweep on the jet sweep run. Dylan Kibbe, touchdown. There was nobody within 12 yards of him. They faked it. They handed it off to Kibbe. Faked the dive to Hardy, and nobody went with Kibbe.
I just made a quick count, thought maybe we only had 5 guys in on defense there for a second because there was nobody around him.
And they hand it off. Did he get enough? He did. 2-pointer is good. So the score, Johannesburg 56, Onaway 14. So, definitely not the ball game that we were envisioning coming into tonight.
No, absolutely not. And like I said earlier, it's good to get this game out of the way. Obviously, you don't want to see these games as a competitor, as an athlete, as a coach, as a player. You don't want to be part of these games, but eventually every team takes its lumps, and it's better to get those games out of the way early this season, get it over with, and move on. Learn from this game. Let's go to the tape tomorrow and Monday and see what we did wrong, how we can adjust, how we can get better. Because every team can get better, and this is a good team. This is a team, the Onaway team, has played some great football this season. There's no doubt about it. But we're getting better. That's the key. We got to get better every week. We're a young team. We knew that going into the season. Got a lot of young athletes in this team. So it's going to be a huge learning experience for us, no doubt. Still, still a lot of time. We can still close this up a little bit, but. As a team, especially as a defense, stopping the run has been a crush for us all night long in the last couple of games. So we need to figure that out, obviously, but get it out of the way early.
Here's the kickoff. It's going to roll out of bounds.
And the ball goes down out of bounds near the 30-yard line.
So Onaway's going to have it 1st and 10 at the 35. Now, after tonight, Onaway, they're going to be 5-2. They've got 2 games left. Next week on the road at Central Lake, a team that was 2-4 coming into tonight. The following week is going to be the final game of the regular season. It's going to be at home. It's homecoming against Pickford. Now, Pickford is 5-1 on the season. They're the newest football member of the Ski Valley. And Pickford's played some pretty good ball. Their only loss was to Mansalona.
1st and 10 from their own 35.
It seems like everybody's lost. Mansalona's beating everybody, but that's a game. Next week is going to be the big game. You're going to be on the road at Central Lake, a team with only 2 wins. You got it. I think that's a must-win because you don't want to hang everything in the balance in the final game of the year against a real good Pickford team.
Absolutely not. And I've been saying all night long, get out of the way early. I thought we had 3 games left on the schedule.
No, tonight it is game number 7.
You're absolutely right. So you're right. It is. That's tough. You do not want to go into that last game with season on the line.
Oh, and a big hit by one of the Johannesburg linemen. Let's see who that was. That's 71.
Justin Jetta, the ball.
Logan Miller.
Tackled by Logan Miller.
Big crushing hit right there.
Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain. 2nd down 10.
And you know what? I think the player that was ejected was Sigsby. He's on the bench. He's taking off his shoes. And I think that was him.
Yep, absolutely.
If he hasn't been ejected, I think Coach Witchett's just sitting him down saying, you know what, we don't need that kind of stuff around here.
Nowhere to go for Porter on that carry.
At the line of scrimmage.
Let's see. That was Cameron Nickert, the junior defensive end, with the tackle. And
Drake Skoronski on the initial hit for Johannesburg-Lewiston.
Running clock going, so hopefully, this game will get done, get out of here without any more injuries or any more. Let's call it like it is, stupidity. Mm-hmm. It's.
Yeah. I mean,
you're down by 40 points and you're running your mouth and you're doing stuff after the whistle, and you're hurting your team. Tolini, he's got a man open. Incomplete.
Just out of the race, Tommy Odger there.
Tommy Odger, incomplete.
He beat the double coverage right there, and he was open. Just overthrown. It's going to bring up 4th down.
A long 4th down at that.
Go ahead and punt it away.
And again, we don't know what happened down there. We don't know if Sigsby is indeed thrown out of the game. But if that is the case,
that's a big blow.
You got 2 games. You're going up to Pickford. That's a game you want to win. You want to get that playoff berth out of the way. And he just kicked out of this game. Then we won't see him there next week.
Anyway, they thought about punting, but now they're going to go out of the shotgun. Oh, and Tolini's going to kick it.
Great.
Nice job.
A spiral on that's better than the way he throws the ball. Unbelievable kick.
Big punt down inside the 15.
Good job by Tolini.
Shea Whitsitt down the ball at
kid's an
the
athlete.
14-yard line.
I mean, the kid's just an unbelievable athlete, Matthew Tolini.
Is he a basketball player?
He is not a basketball player. No. But, I mean,
Now that's where you, as the JV coach, have got to start doing some hardcore recruiting.
Well, just from being around his brother Christian, who was absolutely not a basketball player. God love him, great kid, but not good with a basketball in his hand. But the kid could. There's no doubt in my mind if you went off Matthew, that is, if you went off the basketball team, would be a very good basketball player, phenomenal baseball player, third base pitcher, big right arm for us on the baseball team, and like you just saw right there, he can drop, he can punt, he can throw, he can run, he can do it all. The kid's a phenomenal athlete.
And Joburg, they're going to bring it over left tackle, and off to the races we go again. It's Kibbe, cuts it back over the 50, looking for blockers, and he's over the 45. Dylan Kibbe, he's over 100 yards rushing, along with Hardy.
Turns Kibbe in,
and that's what this offense can do. When it's clicking, you're going to get multiple guys getting over 100 yards rushing.
43-yard run for Kibbe.
As we are under 8 minutes to go. 1st and 10 for Johannesburg. We'll call it the 43-yard line.
First and 10.
Looks like Joburg pulled their big three out, or the big four out. They pulled out their quarterback and their big running backs there, all three of their running backs.
And coming in the quarterback, that's number 10, Colton Huff. So we'll have to see if we can't get some of the numbers of these backup players. And it's up the middle.
Nice little gain.
Cameron Nickert,
the ball carrier.
Number 45, Cameron Nickert.
And don't be surprised if Hardy somehow manages to pull off be credited with an 8-yard gain from the bench. I mean, it's been that kind of game.
2nd down 6.
And they're pulling everybody out, bringing in the reserve linemen, bringing in the reserve backs, and give the coaching staff of Johannesburg lots of credit here. They've coached the whale of a game.
Absolutely, Andy. We're looking for. Yeah,
I was looking for something.
Absolutely, they were. No, they have. They absolutely.
And
have
it's up the middle. Oh, Dylan Cushman nearly broke one there, but it's a first down for Johannesburg.
The tackle of Dylan Cushman gained enough for a first down. Gain of about 7. 1st and 10. Johannesburg-Lewiston at the on-away 31.
The first down, 10 yards to go, 6 minutes left going in the game. Handoff number 42 carries it. Stop the forward progress is
on the carry. Chris Cleaver.
So Onaway and Joburg. This game's just about done. Johannesburg next week.
Down to the 25-yard
They
line.
play Gaylord St. Mary's, a team that has not won a game yet. So you think that Joburg should be able to punch their ticket next week to the playoffs against the winless Gaylord St. Mary's team.
Yeah, I mean, you would think so. It's a tough conference, Andy. We play a lot of tough teams. Gaylord St. Mary's a scrappy team. They actually gave us a little bit of a run when we went down there and played them earlier this season. But it's a tough conference. A lot of good teams, and there's not a lot of gimmies in this conference.
Absolutely not. And then when you bring in 4 teams into football in the conference, they brought in a Rudyard team that's almost always good. They're very down this year.
Yep.
Roger City's got a great tradition. Pickford is a force up in the Eastern UP. And then you bring in St. Ignace, who's ranked 3rd in the state. That just adds to an already tough conference.
Yeah, it's nuts. And that's how it was for basketball last year. I know coaching basketball, we play in a conference with Pelston and Bel Air, who are both in the top 5 in the state. Central A team is very good. Forest Area team that the year before was ranked in the state. Mansalona. I mean, it's just they just keep coming and coming.
Porter and Eli
every year, it doesn't matter who it is or what sport we play.
First down.
Our conference is stacked. There's no doubt about it. They're always tough games.
Looks to be the 18-yard
So right now, teams from the Ski Valley Conference that are in the playoffs. Mansalona has punched their ticket. St. Ignace has punched their ticket. Then you're going to have Johannesburg and Onaway, both with 5 wins. They should be pretty close. Pelston's got 4 wins. Depending on what they have rest on their schedule, they could get in.
Sure, and that's actually a really good Pelston team. We saw them last week, and they came out and were beating us pretty good in the first half.
Cushman, he's going to get inside the 10. Dylan Cushman on off-tackle run.
The tackle of Dylan Cushman.
As we are closing in on 3.5 minutes left in this ball game. 56-14, Johannesburg. And
gain of about 8. 2nd down and 2.
Over the last
from the 10-yard
decade
line.
or so, Onaway and Joburg, they've played so many good games against each other. Even when both teams have been down a little bit, you always have a good, close, physical game. And
sure.
But tonight, it was all Joburg. They were the more physical team, and they proved it. As winding down the play clock here, trying to take every last second off.
And a flag.
Flag on the play.
Oh, they won the battle of the line of scrimmage. Every time they rush the ball, they're getting 4, 5, 6 yards
Justin
before
Jett on the tackle, but there is a
even being
flag on the
touched. And
play.
that's hard to defend when you run it twice every time on the field and it's a first down. But
Illegal procedure
this
against
Onaway team
Johannesburg-Lewiston.
is still is a very solid defense. They'll figure this out and they'll come out next week. I think under Coach Brian Witz's tutelage and they'll correct whatever they did wrong tonight and they'll be a much different and much better team going into next week's matchup.
And I think they've really got to. It's kind of a discipline problem as far as being able to control these guys. These guys have got to learn to just keep their mouth shut because that's in the game we did against Forest Area. There were 4 or 5 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, and that stuff catches up to you.
Sure, yeah,
and Tolini had to miss a game. Missed the big game against Mansalona. Could they have won that game with him in it? Maybe, but stuff like that gets around, and the officials they're not going to put up with that kind of stuff.
Sure, yeah, and you paint a target on your back. There's no doubt.
And Batista with a big initial hit on Huff. And they're going to drop them back for a big loss there.
With all that being said, though, Andy, this is a team that plays with a lot of intensity. They play with a lot of heart. And as a coach, you want that. You want a team that goes out there and leaves it all out in the field. Now, some of the things they've done earlier in the season they were just dumb. They were just dumb mistakes. There's no doubt about it. I mean, there's no other way to paint it. But this is a team that's really trying to correct that. And up until tonight, the last couple games, they played really clean football. And helping guys up off the field and patting, shaking hands and doing a much better job with the sportsmanship. Slipped a little bit tonight, no doubt about it. But it's a team that this is a team that's really trying to change your image, and I think that they are, and they will.
As Johannesburg, they handed off up the middle. It looked like Nickert. Some of the Joburg players still playing with some intensity. Some of the backups getting in the ball game. And
down by Damascus Erickson.
I just want to take this time, Andy, the game's almost over with, just to tell all of our viewers at home that we are not related. I've had so many people come up to me and say, "I heard your brother Andy on the TV on the broadcast the other day." And anyone who looks at us, I think it's pretty fair to say that we would come up with that assumption that we're not brothers fairly quick. I mean, having to get on my knees to still be taller than you. All right, it's.
I'm a 5'7" barely, and you're well over 6 foot tall.
6.5 feet tall. I'm 100 pounds if I'm anything. So,
I'm not giving up my weight. So I'm not saying anything about my weight. So.
5 yards.
I got to start getting in shape so I can chase your kids up and down the court on the basketball court here.
Absolutely.
In a couple.
I'm telling you what, I am
that's
excited.
Not that far around the corner.
It is not. I am super excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is the first year. This is my 3rd year coaching JV basketball. And this is the first year I'm actually going to be able to coach my age group of kids. I mean, the last couple of years we've had to pull all the JV age players up to the varsity to fill a team and have a competitive team. And this year's the first year all those kids will be up in their playing against kids their age at the varsity level, and I'm gonna have kids my age playing kids, and the stars of those age groups, and it's gonna be me and Coach Eddie Shimonek are really looking forward to this season. It's gonna be a fun season, gonna be an exciting season. Should have a lot of talent on both levels, and really should bring a lot of excitement to Onaway basketball this year.
And we are looking forward to that. We're going to be broadcasting some games. We've got some of the young ladies here in the Miss Kowaleski's class, and they're running the camera and running the computer, bringing you all these nice graphics and Megan and Cheyenne doing all the hard work. We're just talking these guys are running the camera, and we're going to be bringing you some basketball games. As Johannesburg, they're just content to run out the clock. We're under 10 seconds, and that's going to be all. So the Johannesburg-Lewiston Cardinals, they come into Onaway tonight, and they soundly defeat the Onaway Cardinals by a score of 56-14. A dominating performance by Johannesburg, and the Onaway Cardinals, they're going to fall to 5-2. Johannesburg, they're going to move up to 5-2.
Boys and girls sports, they need
as they're going to snap the ball one last time.
Take the snap one last play.
They have to snap the ball. They'll take a
And
knee.
the ball is
That's
down.
it.
That's the end of the ball
And
game.
that's the ball game. So,
Thank you
for
again for
my
attending.
broadcast
Please
partner, Michael
drive
Kroll,
carefully.
I'm Andy Kroll saying thank you for watching this broadcast here on MXSA.TV and Sunrise Communications. The final score, Johannesburg 56, Onaway 14. We'll see you next time. What is it with me and you broadcasting games that totally suck?
I don't know. I haven't
We-
done an exciting one yet.
I think, didn't we do one? No, we did. We did that one where we had like 6 or 7 in a row where they lost, and then they finally beat like Pelston. And, yeah. I think, they were just getting their.
The most exciting game I think you guys did was, were you there for the softball game? David was screaming. You couldn't understand what was going on.
Yes.